How's it going, Yankee fans? Welcome back to Fireside Yankees with your boys, Alex and Ryan. So the news kind of at a little bit of a stalling points, a little bit slow right now, but we do know one thing is happening today, or at least early this week. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is going to be posted. And what that means essentially is that MLB teams have 45 days to come to a deal. And I think it's going to happen a lot faster than that. And I think you'd probably agree. The only reason it would take a little bit longer get into the 30 to 40-day range is because they're trying to drive up the price. Now he's not pitching. He's sitting around. He's hanging out. He's safe. He's sound. He's healthy. That's the most paramount kind of narrative. And at the end of the day, he's going to get paid a crap ton of money. Now, there's a lot of teams that are going to want him. We know the Yankees are involved. We know the Mets are involved. We know that Boston could be involved. We know the Dodgers could be involved. We know the Braves could be involved. There's a lot of teams. I mean, the Phillies went with Nola, so I don't know if they're going to be necessarily going in that direction anymore. But truth is, Yamamoto, 25 years old, durable. This dude has the legitimate elite upside. Like we're talking about, you saw Kodai Senga, his rookie season, brilliant. He was phenomenal. If they can get even 3/4 of the way, if they can get a Kodai Senga performance next year, that transition at 25 would be unbelievable. And then consider the fact that you have him on a long-term deal. Garrett Cole's eventually going to start regressing to a degree. He's obviously just won the Cy Young. He's still a freaking monster. But eventually, he'll start to regress a little bit as the end of his deal comes around, and Yamamoto can kind of fill that ace role, fill that top spot. The upside is there. He could be elite. So, Ryan, how do you see this free agency kind of, unraveling for Yamamoto once he gets posted? The Yankees aren't really worried about money. They're worried more about luxury tax salary than overall salary. So they're going to have to, $20-30 million posting fee. It's going to be a lot, but I don't think the Yankees care much because they don't really care unless it's directly allocated to the luxury tax salary. Yankees have some money to spend, and they've been heavily connected to Yamamoto. What are your thoughts as we get much closer to him being posted?
Yeah, so my opinion on this whole situation, Alex, is that, well, the New York Yankees are going to need to put up the best offer on the table. That's what's going to get Yamamoto, right? You hear smoke about all the West Coast. Actually, he doesn't have a West Coast preference. A lot of his suitors are in the American League East. He'll prefer the Yankees to the Mets, or, their connections in Boston, and, Senga is recruiting Yamamoto, or whatever it may be. Let's make this very clear. If the New York Yankees have the best offer on the table, he will sign with the New York Yankees. If the New York Mets have the best offer on the table, I imagine he'll sign with the New York Mets. If the Boston Red Sox have the best offer on the table, he'll sign with the Boston Red Sox, et cetera, et cetera. So, if you're the New York Yankees, there's one thing that I think that everyone needs to kind of be aware of when we're talking about Yamamoto's free agency situation. And that's the ability to take him away from teams that really want him, who can hurt you in this league, right? And I'm specifically referring to the Boston Red Sox here. You sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto, you all but take away the one guy the Red Sox desperately want. And I know that baseball and acquisitions isn't always just about what you're taking away from your opponents. But man, if you add Yoshinobu Yamamoto to your team and you take him away from the Red Sox, I'm not really concerned about taking him away from the Mets. The Mets are in a different league. Quite honestly, if he doesn't sign with the Yankees, it would be dope if he went to the Mets because they're not a team you're competing with in your division. And quite frankly, they're not a team that's going to be, winning the World Series in 2024, barring some incredible improvements across the board. So, all things considered, you're trying to play a little bit of keep away here. Obviously, you want your team to get better. And as you mentioned, Yoshinobu Yamamoto provides the amazing, amazing upside of being an ace caliber pitcher. I mean, everybody who writes about his stuff has said this guy could be a top 10 pitcher in this league. And for good reason, right? His stuff is ridiculous. It's really, really good. And, I have no reason to believe why he can't take another step forward in 2024, 2025. He is only 25 years old, right? He is one of the most accomplished pitchers in Japanese history, and he's only 25. And, we're talking about Juan Soto, we're talking about Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It's about the Yankees said they want to get younger. This is your opportunity to get younger. He's younger than everybody else in your pitching staff right now. He's younger than Johnny Brito. He's younger than Randy Vasquez. He's younger than Clark Schmidt. He's younger than everybody, right? So if you're talking about getting younger and that's a priority for you, this guy should be a priority for you. Now, is it reasonable to expect the New York Yankees to sign, to trade for Juan Soto, extend Juan Soto, and then sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto? Probably not. That's probably a little bit of wishful thinking. It's not impossible. It's just, you are inherently asking for a good bit by doing that. But honestly, I mean, and I don't know if this is the spoiled Yankee fan in me talking. Alex, are the Yankees in a position where they can say we only want to get better, but not significantly better? This feels like the type of offseason where it's yeah, you got to go out and try to get both of these guys. If you get both of these guys, I don't really know what the rest of the offseason is going to look like, but that's a pretty incredible start. And you're going to know really soon, as you mentioned. You've got 45 days, right? And I don't think teams are sitting back and going, all right, we'll survey the market. Let's go talk to Michael Walker first before we start hitting up Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Everybody's main priority right now is going to be Yoshinobu Yamamoto, right? The winter meetings are coming up. I imagine that's going to cause a little bit of buzz as well. And given the flurry of rumors with Juan Soto, this could be a quick moving market. Like, by the time it's December 20th, honestly, by the time it's Christmas, Alex, are we going to know where these two, prized players are going to be next year? Probably. So, yeah, Yamamoto,
Well,
got to go after him. Gotta.
yeah, and Joel Sherman literally just tweeted as we were recording this that he has been posted. So, there you go. He's posted. We knew this was going to happen today. It was reported a couple days ago. Teams have been notified. The window begins at 8 a.m. Eastern time on November 21st. So officially he'll be available tomorrow morning. So still very relevant. But, this is going to be an interesting situation because is Hal Steinbrenner going to give Cashman the green light to spend another $200 million? You know what I mean? Is he going to say, go do it, and look, the truth is that if you take, I don't know, let's say Anthony Rizzo's $20 million and Lou Trevino's $4.1 million, and you say that's almost 25 mil, Anthony Rizzo obviously being gone next year, most likely, if they don't pick up that option, that basically pays for Yamamoto. You know what I mean? Like that's really what it is. So it's like the Yankees have the money. It's just reallocating it. They need to figure out if some of their prospects can be long-term contributors and be impactful major league players. Is Ben Rice going to make it? Is Anthony Volpe going to get better? Is Oswald Peraza going to define his offensive identity? Is Jason Dominguez going to make a full recovery and be an impact player? Can Everson Pereira contribute? There's a lot riding on these prospects right now. If even 2 or 3 of them pan out and become slightly above average players in the near term, you're in good shape. Like you can survive with that. You can live with that. The rest of them can be supplemental pieces in the meantime. You can find some plug and play veterans. Like it's right now the Yankees have some leverage. They got the resources. Yamamoto is obviously the best pitcher on the market, bar none. And the alternatives are Jordan Montgomery or Blake Snell. I personally am not. I think, look, Blake Snell just won a Cy Young. I feel like he is a phenomenal pitcher. Would you be happy if the Yankees went after a guy like Blake Snell? I know he's like a 5 to 6 inning guy, which is fine to a degree. But do you think this is like a good alternative for the Yankees, or would you rather go with Jordan Montgomery?
I do think Blake Snell's a better pitcher than Jordan Montgomery. I don't think the money's going to be too different. But the thing I'll say here is if we're going 9 figures, go get Yamamoto, right? Like if you're going 9 figures, you're going to, $20+ million a year, go get Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It seems that he really just wants a lot of total money. The annual average salary doesn't seem to be as big of a thing as the actual total money, which is huge here because, as you mentioned with the New York Yankees, they're trying to work around that luxury tax. They're trying to stay under the Steve Cohen threshold. At least we imagine they're trying to stay under that number, and that's around 320. It's about $297 million. Might have gone up to around $300 million this year because obviously, the thresholds increase every season. So that is important to note. But, if you can give the guy, $230 million over 10 years and say, here's an opt-out after year 4, right? Like, not saying that, like, if he opted out, you're okay with losing him. But if I get 4 years of Yoshinobu Yamamoto and then he signs, like, a $400 million deal elsewhere and you just find another great pitcher to replace him, I'll worry about it when I get there, right? Like, I'll worry about that opt-out when I get there. But I would definitely look at, hey, let's give him $240 million over, like, 10 years. Let's give him, like, 235 over 9, whatever it may be. Let's give him that overwhelming total money that cuts down the AAV. If you remember the Bryce Harper contract, when he signed his deal, he signed for more total money than Manny Machado, but it was much less money per season because free agents care about the total amount of money. It's weird. Owners care about the annual average salary because of the luxury tax. Players care about the total money. And that actually creates a dynamic that works well in negotiations. And when, you have an owner who's willing to spend but doesn't really want to crush the luxury tax, and you have a player who wants more of the total money than annual average salary, their interests can kind of align. So again, Alex, would you give a 25-year-old a 10-year deal? Yeah, like, if we're talking about Juan Soto, I give him fucking 13 years, right? Like, I'd give him enough. I'd give him enough years that, like, I'll hopefully be like have a house by then, right? Like, I'll be like 35. I don't care, right? Like, I'd give him as many years as humanly possible. And Yoshinobu Yamamoto's case, if you're giving him an opt out, you're assuming he's going to be good enough by the time that opt out kicks in that he's gonna opt out, right? So, in a sense, you can kind of play yourself to both you can play to both advantages here for both parties, and that's really what you got to do in contract negotiations. So, give him $235 million over 10 years. It's only going to be $23.5 million towards the luxury tax, and he gets a ton of money. So both sides are happy, Like, I think that would work.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think could work. And look, long term, the Yankees will be better off for it. They have a lot of money coming off the books over the next 4 or 5 years. Like they can turn it over, and if they end up with really good players in that process, it's going to look like a great opportunity for them to turn this thing around, especially as the prospects develop as well. But guys, wanted to give you the insight update that Yamamoto has been posted. The process has officially begun, so we have 45 days here to figure out what the future holds for him and what the Yankees are going to do in the starting pitching rotation because. Right now, it's quite obvious they need reinforcements. Can we depend on Nestor Cortez to come back and play at a healthy level? I don't know. Can we depend on Clark Schmidt to take a big step forward? I don't know. Can we depend on Michael King to stay healthy and pitch 150 plus innings? I don't know. How about Rodon? Like, there's a lot of question marks right now. We need a guy who's 25, durable, and has ridiculous freaking upside. Like, that's what the Yankees are missing to smooth over the concerns of injury and inconsistencies and lack of experience, lack of proven commodities. So I do feel as though Yamamoto, does hit on a lot of what the Yankees need. It would definitely help us feel better about the rest of the rotation. But we'll see what they do. This is going to be an interesting process. We got you guys covered on the daily, and of course, any instant updates. We got you. Going to be a really fun next couple of months as free agency and the trade market heats up, especially in December. So, make sure to stick around and like and subscribe as always. We'll catch you guys on the next Fireside Yankees and have a great day.